procedure over again. So the 30-minute, see, hiding it. The liquidity, we know we're getting V flushes on the bottom side, which just happened. Should filter this. Hold on. We gotta do widget setting. To show you today's session, which was horribly janky. I mean, we took 2 losses and then not a lot of trades, but we used the checklist too, so unfortunately I can't tag as I'm running the checklist. There's a bug. Should be fixed tomorrow. So a lot of this we're running through the checklist procedure, which you guys are going to be able to copy or whatever in the future, near future here. So we get long up in here. Reason being is these red channels. There were like 7 of them. Also, these liquidity lines were V-flushing. I would say this first go at it wasn't too bad. I'm not sure if there's a medium range there or if... no, there's not, because a higher time frame was in play. Actually going to need to pull up Sierra chart. So I felt pretty clear about the whole damn trade. That's a 1 second. Let's see if we have the... let's checklist some things. So we're not quite getting wave favor. We're wave mid. 30 second. Let's look at this. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, there was a range here, which they busted it. So at the time there was a range on the 30-minute, the midpoint would be 16s. So we're going against the higher time frame. This doesn't exist. We're getting in at 28.75. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is a mid price. Again, I'm tracking psych prices for those of you that may or may not be new. I think they're in here. Yeah. Which this is interesting. On point is working really well. But we would have to filter that out. Anyways, we are mid shimmy on this trade. You can see there's a reclaim here and here. pass-through node. So instead of like dot is a bitch. One thing every which way. So instead of like trying to stretch the goddamn thing every which way. since this is a pass-through node. Hopefully this works out the way I think it will. can just copy mine. Where are you? Okay. Are you in there? Here, you should copy mine. I went in your chat. I didn't hear you talking. Maybe you're muted or some shit. Pear, can you screenshot it and just tell me when you... Just do a raise your hand to speak. Or some shit. Let me make sure I can hear you. Yeah, I should be able to hear you.
Hey, what's up?
Yo, just copy mine.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. It's hard for me
Okay,
to do.
look. You can color code it or whatever. You're gonna do 35. Kind of looking at a 5, 30, 10, 1. And then they're all gonna pass through.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm not sharing my screen. Here. Can you take a screenshot of it?
Yeah, let me get fuck, flame shot. There we go. Okay, I've got that. Screenshot that. Actually, I'll put these on Discord 1 sec. Okay, you got that one. Anything else you want me to screenshot?
Yeah. So it'll bang into these 4 categories off the pass through, just so you know.
Mm.
Let's start with the channel category.
Okay, hold it there. Screenshot that. Pump that into Discord.
Got it? You can hold the space button to
Yeah, it's just
this is gonna be.
I keep fucking it up with multiple instances of Discord.
Then there's your reclaim check.
Okay. Got that.
Liquidity check. Really, we could here redo this.
Got
Liquidity
that.
and compression. You might want to just.
Got that. Okay.
And then finally, regime.
Alright, I got all those.
So this one, the only special nodes are gonna be between these two. It's gonna be required on that arrow, and then this is also required. These are the only 2 that get required.
And where are those, sorry?
This is gonna be on the reclaim check. So
Okay.
here and here. Basically here. Let me do this. see this. Can you see the yellow arrows?
Yeah.
These required states are new. Yeah, that's all you need to know. Everything else is like question answer. For now, we'll see how this evolves.
Yeah. All right, I'll start building that out.
I mean, at some point, we're gonna be able to just share. Now, if you arrive to the same conclusion like this, here, look at my screen. Okay, let's say we look at the 30-minute reclaims or whatever. If the top side and the bottom side reclaims are both being taken, go back on that. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, let's say both of these are selected. They get merged in here, but then we do a different time frame. And then this and this are the same exact check. They all get put into one box, so that way it doesn't.
No,
get
you don't got
sloppy.
5 million fucking things on your screen.
So I know that the 30, I know the 30-minute and the 10-second. That's why those are colored reclaims. So I know that these conditions are present. It's a dual-sided market. So I'll probably change the color, which you do over here. So you can select more than one box and do the color. So it says dual-sided. So whatever the color the box is, it does that font.
Okay.
So a lot of the stuff, the longs are always going to end up being green, and the short prompts are always red.
Yeah.
So the goal is to see more shorts than longs. Eventually, there'll be something that's going to count longs for shorts. So I have 6 factors of support for a long, but then I have 6 factors of support for a short. Well, that's telling me the market is in dissonance. If I have 4 factors of support on the long side and 1 factor of support on the short side, it'll start counting.
Mm.
Then it's how you're boosting the probability, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then how's tagging coming along? Is that working yet?
So you could add tags in here if you wanted.
And those that's a
Yeah,
function that's working.
For instance, I don't have tags for any of this shit, but for instance, let's do this top side clean. And I'll just put this mean favor on there. We're on the 10-second reclaim. Eventually, we'll be able to hide some of these. I wouldn't recommend Xing them out.
Mm.
But notice how it has the tag in there. So
Yeah.
if I look at my trades down here, if I click that, it'll tag it.
Okay.
So at some point, if you want, and if you want to remove the tag, it's click on it and just uncheck it. I just don't have tags for any of this. At some point, when you go from trade 1, 2, 3, it's going to remember the flow of the checklist.
Okay. Because I would, in my mind, in a perfect world, I would like for this checklist to take over all of my tags, and that way I'm tagging live, with the checklist. Now,
Yeah, I mean, it's
how
not
in
going to do the
depth?
psychological shit though.
No,
That's the
that's
thing.
manual, and for that, that's
Or
easy.
your management. How was your entry late early? Shit like that.
Yeah, that shit I can just tag, like
But
in hindsight, But it would be cool if every other tag that I had, technical factors of support, and like time frame shit, if that was all already tagged with the checklist, that would
yeah,
make
I
my
mean, you
life a
could
lot
do it.
easier.
You could do it. Like the regime type, for example, range 10-second. We're in a 10-second range. It's a model slip range. The problem is like the entry. Did you have favor against or none? That I don't know how you would stick that in there because like where in this range are you executing? Are you above, below, mid, against?
I would have to change in live time. I would have to keep changing it as I go, which is kind of the goal at the end of the day. Like I want to be constantly paying attention to my tags and how are they changing over time, and updating them in live time and keeping it at the front of my mind.
I mean, you can certainly add the tags that you think can go into it. What for me is interesting is I don't, for me at least, because like what you gotta understand is like nothing. This has not been done before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're reinventing the wheel. We are inventing the wheel. So I feel like for me personally, I don't know how I could stick tags in here and then because it seems like none of these tags really can fit into
Yeah,
that.
you'd essentially have to redo all of your tags, which I technically still have to. That's something me and Yuki haven't gotten around to in the last couple of weeks.
But it's like conservative. Where's he been?
Oh, he's with me. Today's the first day he didn't show up. I think he's busy today, but I've been trading with him the last 3 or 4 days.
Has he been trading?
Yeah, he blew his old account, so he started a new one. He's just been doing like one lot micros, I think, or something like that.
Well, it's things like this conservative aggressive. You can't really
No, that's a
put that
hindsight tag.
tag
You
in a
get a
checklist
Yeah, you'd have to circle back and do that
for
during a
your
review.
entries, exits.
So
For me,
maybe,
I think what would
and I'm just spitballing here. Like, and again, we're inventing the wheel here. What I might do is uh, reform my tags so that I have um, front tagging tags and back tagging tags, meaning tags that I'm tagging in live time, and then tags that I'm tagging after the session. So conservative, aggressive, um, execution, good or bad, that sort of stuff. And then I'll have live tags, which are mean favor, mean against, channels, reclaims, shit like that. And that way, when I review at the end of the day, I don't have to click 500 different tags. I only have 2 or 3, you know?
yeah. I think well, the problem with like a reclaim tag. The problem with a reclaim tag is like you already know that a reclaim by itself really isn't edge.
Yeah.
But the problem is like when you're running through the checklist, you're getting multiples of combinations of tags and once you go like beyond 3-4 tag combinations at 1,000 trade sample size, you're not really getting good sample. Well, here, let me
Yeah,
show
it gets
you.
messy.
Well, you just don't have enough. Let's like look at let's look at this tag, but let's only look at it from let's look at that tag. Let's look at this combination here. So with that combination, you have 2 trades, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That doesn't tell you shit.
Yeah.
16, it's pretty low. 5, 3, 5. So the thing is, once you're going beyond 3 tags deep, because like my sample, like the amount of trades I've taken is pretty high at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
you've got a
talking
fucking sample size. Like, that's a lot of sample size.
885. So the more tags you're trying to look at integrating together, like beyond 2 tag combos, 3 tags, depending on what they are, it's almost pointless. I think performance and all this shit. I don't know, man. I think the flow of the checklist is going to tell you something. I think knowing how many factors of support
Mm.
and what time frames are at play and how many factors of support, I think those tags are what's going to matter more.
Yeah.
So like I would use the checklist before you start adding tags to it.
Okay.
I don't want to discourage you from not doing it, but like
Yeah, focus on what's in
let's
front of me.
say,
Don't bite off more than I could chew, you know.
well, the thing is like the path on one trade, it's going to be going through every one of these. Oh, okay, we do have all these channels present. We have these reclaims. We have some liquidity here and there, and then we don't have compressions. Here's the regime type. And then as you trickle down it, before you know it, there's like your checklist is like 20 checks deep. That's almost like 20 different tag combinations. You put 20 separate tags together.
Yeah.
The odds of that sample rate being, who knows though? Who knows though? Because these are different. I don't know. We're
Yeah.
going into the unknown.
Exactly. And
That's just like,
I'm seeing ahead in the future. I'm seeing this checklist replacing our tags. But and I don't mean that in a literal sense because the tags are still
it
going to
can't.
be there for data.
Yeah.
But what I mean is the checklist is going to become what you're clicking. Like all these tags that you're looking at right now, in the future, in my mind, we're not going to look at that. It's just going to be the fucking checklist, and it's going to tag for you.
I would disagree. I think trade intention, clarity, grading your entry, psychological, I think those tags are going to stay.
Yeah, me too.
That's
And
just
I
my
think that's why hiding tags is so important. Is because, again, in my mind, this is all fucking Chronic's fucking mind. In my mind, I could hide all the technical tags, hide them, just get them off the fucking screen. Keep execution.
I don't. Well, here's the deal. If you look at these ranges, I still have to like go through all the combinations to figure out where there's edge.
Yeah.
But if you look at just these, okay, like my psych prices that I still track. There's all the ranges. That's not telling me there's clear edge versus not. Here's the psych prices. Well, let's make sure that we have complete clarity and our emotions are good. And then let's get rid of the red stars. Well, now they're all exactly the same if my psychology's just right.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is telling me is psych prices just might be fucking useless and I don't need to track it anymore.
Yeah.
I think when you're tracking certain things, technicals or what have you, maybe if it's not blatantly biting you and you're at, like, it's like, there's clearly not. It's very evident that trading specific prices may not have any edge.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a technical I could potentially get rid of. When I look at the ranges, there might be combinations of ranges.
Mm.
But I need to get rid of all the red star trades. I need to make sure the psychology is good on all that because that's skewing it. Because we just did psychology here. Now, psychologically, is there something I do? Is there a psychological something I do psychologically when I trade bad? Well, it's even. But this one and this one are taking a hit because there's some unideal confusion or something going on in those. But if we take that out, they're all the same. So what that's telling me is psych prices probably don't matter. And there's a decent amount of fucking sample size. 216, 226, 163. So yeah, you're right. Some of the technical tags may go away. I think slipping definitely has edge. You've been slip drilling.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
So that kind of might need to stay. So, like, here's the slips. This one had lead. Have a bad habit of going against. I'll be right back. Give me a minute.
Sorry, I'm back. Oh, he's still not back. Ugh.
I had a shit just come out of nowhere.
Damn, bro, you really had to go, huh? That's funny. Uh,
Anyways, as you build this checklist, I'm gonna just start running. And doing this.
yeah, you're good.
There's a point where a lot more shit's gonna probably get put together.
Yeah.
Like other weird little nuanced conditions. Maybe volatility. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could run checks. Maybe there is gonna be something there with channels or whatever.
Yeah, because the
I mean, it
way.
doesn't hurt to get those statistics either.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, exactly. It definitely doesn't hurt. And the way I use my factors of support tags is like, regardless of whether I'm trading like into a liquidity area or fading a liquidity area, I use the tag. I tag it. You know, and granted, I should have two tags. Like, am I trading into it or am I fading it? But for the sake of just like seeing if there's edge there, I just tag it like that. So technically speaking, with that in mind, I could just click the liquidity tag on all of my liquidity checklist because I'm using it, you know.
Oh, I see.
So it's like no matter what, if it's short or long biased, it's the same tag. It's just gonna have the liquidity tag because I'm using it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Which I suppose I should also have a path for no liquidity or like no reclaim. Although it should be like a thing that I think every session has reclaim, but liquidity or channels, no channel, you know, just have a strike through checklist for no channel, and then it doesn't tag anything with channel, you know.
Yeah, there's gonna be a hide at some point to where like on the because the checklist does have channels,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's no channel, I don't think you should get rid of it. I think it should be like this where you hide it.
Yeah.
Because what if you're running a 1 second chart and then they start showing up?
Yeah.
You can exit out. Get
Okay.
rid of it for now.
That makes sense. If I'm clicking down the checklist and I don't want something, I can just click X and it'll go away.
Correct.
Okay.
For now, yeah.
So in that case, I think for now I'm just gonna focus on factors of support. I'm not gonna worry about ranges or fucking any of that weird shit. I'm just keep it to factors of support because I think that's what the checklist is designed for. And then maybe at a later date, depending, I could start exploring with that idea of tagging, having all of my tags on the checklist. But for now, just fucking keep it simple.
Yeah, and he's making conditional nodes and shit, and things are gonna subject to change based off of this testing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, like I said, it's gonna be counting longs and shorts. So I'll run through it. So first and foremost, I'll go to the 30-minute. Well, I'll look at daily, which is in the channel, but it's not breaking. There's a major liquidity zone way up there. This range broke out. It's kind of in a measured move. So on the 30-minute, 30. So let's run through this. So there is a channel. here. And it's just right now. So like the struggle grind ups are not present. They're probably not going to be present on the 30 minutes. So I kind of don't need to see those. Right now it's a SGD, struggle grind down, or a channel down. I don't know if it's going to break up or not, so both of these are on standby for now. Because if it breaks up or down, if it breaks up, that's going to give me a potential. The thing is, this reliable tag may not be present, because if I click reliable, then that means we can lean into it.
Yeah.
Channels are going to be more reliable on the because usually on the higher time frame it is only there one time. Like, you know how there's days where it's always breaking up?
Yeah.
So hypothetically this is on, I don't know which one it is, so we're kind of in limbo mode. What about reclaims? Well, to me, they are in this spot taking a lot of the reclaim back. Since late last night on both ends,
Yeah.
so if you notice that there's a reclaim, there was one up here, there was a little bit of resistance on the long side, there was one here, and there was a little bit of resistance before it went up into that. They're basically building resistance on the top and bottom. So boom, boom, and this is it is dual-sided. So before we do any reclaim on this time frame, we need to count EV. There should be space between that.
I interpreted that as just like be cautious.
Yeah, so it's saying long and short, so it's really the high time frame's not giving us a direction.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like a slip and maybe setting up for a break. I'd say we are in a trend overall. But now that it's putting a range up here, I would say it's box walking. So this is sort of a long. So I could put a condition in there. Well, I think it would depend on the price action. There's no compression. What about liquidity? Is there any double tops? Little bit of liquidity here. 1, 2, 3. They V-flushed it. So if we go to the liquidity, there is really no top side liquidity at this point. I'm not going to get rid of that. The bottom side, they V-flushed it. It's a possible long. This is the only thing giving me a real clear long signal. They may bake in liquidity on the top side. I'm not going to get rid of that. We know we have so that's kind of where we're at here. These are probably going to get done up on multiple checklists. So we can collapse it and expand it. Because there's a don't delete in main. He's going to eventually make it to where he can merge the different checklists. But right now all the checklists are on the same checklist. I'm not going to look at Well, yeah, we'll look at the. I've been kind of looking at a 5 minute just to get a little bit of a better view of the 30. See, in here, you're actually getting like. But I could probably run this on the 30-second. I could probably see most of this on the 30-second. Actually, no, a lot of this does go into the. Kind of ignore that time frame for now. Go to the they are compressing up here. They are starting to breach it. Let's see if there's any like smaller deals that can kind of confirm. So that's not reliable. Maybe it is. No, it's not. It's alternating. So we know on the 30-second. The blue ones aren't good.
Is there any way
Gonna
to
get
get those
rid of.
back after you click out of them?
No, that's the problem.
Okay, so you gotta be really sure you don't need them before you fucking X them.
Exactly. Yeah, actually you could. I could go like this. No, never mind. Now, where's the open at? Here. I think it's in value search overall on the 30-second. It's not really, we don't know what the fuck it's doing. um, what about the reclaims? Well, same deal. They're kind of taking the reclaims on both ends. Not anymore, not since 9, and it's been an hour. Well, they took a full reclaim there. They didn't take it all here. 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 This is compressing. The top side is holding for now. There is no bottom side compression. The reclaims. In the end, they're kind of, you need to count EV on it. You're not getting clean. Where the fuck is the other one? You're not really getting good clean deals. And now they all got merged. So the 30 minutes and 30 seconds are all merged. So we know we got to count, make sure there's a bit of EV on our reclaim. What about liquidity? mean, so far, all the topside liquidity has been getting breached, but it's almost like they V-flush it. But they're still going up. Yeah, they're kind of V-flushing it slightly. But you can see how they V-flush. They're breaching it. They're definitely going through it. They're breaking it. But they're not V-flushing in a way that the market is going down. There doesn't seem to be any real bottom side. Maybe here. It all seems to be on the top end. So the top side is breaching. Bottom side almost doesn't exist for now. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a second. See, now you're starting to get a lot of shit pointing towards a long here. I wouldn't count that. That's dual-sided, but you're starting to get more shit pointing to a long. Probably not gonna quite look at a 10-second yet. I'd rather have a 30. So we know this channel's starting to breach on the 30-minute. Now the 1 second is really telling a fucking different story. You can see the reclaim had resistance before it went up. It's actually getting extraordinarily flat. So if we go through the 1 second, do we get reliable? Do we get reliable channels? Channels don't seem to be super duper present. They don't seem, they're not taking bottom side reclaims very well, if at all. Not too terribly. Not a lot of channels here. There's a big one right there, which that one blew out, and that's not reliable. For now. I mean, it's all subject to change. It's one of those. Yeah, so these channels are kind of, the up ones are not good. There's only one other down channel. They're not taking backside reclaims. I mean, it definitely looks, smells, tastes like a potential long here. but I don't. Because on the reclaim check, at least in this moment in time, the reclaim bottom sides are not being taken. They are taking upsides, but there is resistance. So, I mean, I got a lot of kind of value search here. There's a lot of shit kind of pointing to the long. 30-minute, 30-second, 30-minute, 30-second, 1 second. The blue channels don't matter. Volatility's hella low. Are you there, Chronic?
Alright, I'm back.
I do think the checklist is a little weird to use. It's kind of, for me, it feels a bit uncomfortable. It does get a little clusterfucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I kind of expected that for using it in
Stop.
live time. But I think the immediate benefit, at least for me for right now, is just going to be to map out all of my edge and just have it in front of me. Even just like, because it's essentially obsidian what I'm looking at, but I never got around to doing the obsidian mind map. So I might as well do it here, and that way I'll have it forever, and I can use it later when we do integrate, the checklist and the tagging and stuff like that. So for right now, my primary focus is just going to be to map out my edge, so that I know what it is, and I'm not guessing. I think a lot of why I struggled a lot in the first couple months of you trading with me was because a lot of it was guesswork and like improv. Like I was improvising a lot of that edge, and I was doing it pretty well. Like you and me had some really good weeks together, but so much of it was just guesswork and like, oh, I think this has edge. Like, oh, Fat Cat says this has edge, so it must have edge. But then I fuck it up because I don't understand it. So I think by doing this and mapping it out and typing it out and knowing X equals Y and Y equals Z, it'll help me understand it better. And now I won't be guessing. I'll actually know for a fact, like, what path am I going down right now? It takes out all the guesswork for me.
Yeah. Like, for instance, this has got a lot of long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This doesn't matter too much. Now, they are kind of building in a bit of resistance up here.
If it's alright with you,
But
I'm
on
gonna...
a 30-minute and topside breaching possible long, so a lot of the topside shit has been breaching.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely what it fucking looks like. If it's alright with you, I was going to drill for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'll keep working on the checklist throughout the next couple days.
Son of a bitch might be steamrolling.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
We know the 10-second is on a steamrolling trend right now. So if I was going at a 10-second, I could go trend steamroll. Hypothetically, that would be. I need to update the checklist and put long or short for the trend. But you do have. It's just like the organization of how that all kind of comes in. I don't know. Shit needs to either be collapsible or really put into multiple checklists, but until we have a copy and paste feature. I still have value search. Like on the higher time frames. Or no, I have value search on 30 second. Starting to steamroll. I'd say it's value search on or trending, steamrolling, 1 second. 30 second is starting to steamroll too. That's when it gets kind of goofy though, because look, now I put all of them, all the time frames are kind of trending at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is good that I got the lowers. We know the 30-minute overall though, the 30-minute is in a trend too though. It's a box walk trend though. It's different. So I'm having multiple time frames pointing. So these would also be longs. Which I do have a long at 33.50. Kind of been sitting in it for a minute. Just kind of letting it grind. Do want to see the 30 or the 5 minute. I want to know if they're going to be hitting up into that reclaim up there. A little bit of resistance, not a terribly large amount of resistance. I'm going to go ahead and exit. Just a one and done sort of trade session.
Yeah, it seems like that kind of price action. I wouldn't really want to sit here and trade this all day.
Well, I don't. I mean, I'm already hit my target. I don't really want to, you know. So it was good. I mean, and then the checklist is just screaming at me. Which kind of, I'm like, well, I'll just lean into it. So let's gonna kind of update it a little bit. So just a nice little. It might keep grinding, but for me, it's. I mean, we'll see. How it kind of pans out. Here's the
Nice.
So I'm gonna edit this while it. So when we're in a trend. Um, we're gonna want to actually. I'm gonna break this. Long or short? I'll do it like this. Actually, you know what? Because then I would have to double that up. Let's move this. Get rid of that. We'll bring that back. We'll bring this back to where it was. There's kind of a little bug when you do the arrows. You only have to click the arrow once to drag it, but it'll just draw another one. So you need to like just click some random place. So let me grab this color code. White. Oops. Undo. That one needs to be white. Should be red. That way it's long or short on just one of these. Because when you're in any trend situation, obviously the trend is kind of your friend. So now if we look at it, if I go back, we'll put steamrolling long, steamrolling long, steamrolling long. Now you have 3 longs there. 10 second, 1 second, 30 second. I think the merging is good. I think hopefully multiple check because it kind of gets all over the goddamn place. I think hiding certain shit and then see how I have main and don't delete.
Yeah.
Separating the reclaim on one checklist, the channels on another, and having these like collapsible and then they eventually merge or what have you. Or each one of these is the different time frame. I don't know yet. But or maybe the ability to just sort of drag these around in here. We'll see. It's good, but there's just something about the organization that it just like it starts to become a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, too many boxes displayed at once.
It's like, yeah, I think if it was collapsible and I just worked one time frame at a time, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also good too, though. I mean, long, 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 long.
Yeah, it's working. Like it's clearly fucking working as intended.
And then when I'm sitting there and it's just like I'm getting hit with like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that may not. 7 confirmations. Of a long, it just kind of like, it's like, all right, we'll just get it.
Yeah. Just throw it on.
Really, instead of Xing out of this, I should have went through all of these and go, is it reliable? And just put no, no, no. Instead of Xing it out.
Yeah. I just picked up a point on a short. It's starting to give me little slip ranges. But today's
Yes,
not
but
been a
that is
lot.
I mean, it's gonna work for you on that smaller time frame.
Yeah.
But so like if I was you and you're running, so if I was to do this check, yeah, it remembers. So you're kind of on what time frame? 1 second.
Yeah.
Overall, it's trending. It's steamrolling long. You are getting some slip as well.
Looks like we're holding bottom liquidity, at least for the time being.
Yeah. Okay. So look. All right. Let's get rid of all these other time frames. You're just working here. So liquidity. You said the bottom side is holding.
Yeah.
So we got 2 longs.
Looks like
What do we have on?
partially taking back reclaims to the upside.
So they're taking partials up.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go reclaim top side partials. So that means top side partial take back long. So scalp it.
Yeah.
So you have, if you're gonna do these, you're gonna want to probably do it towards the long direction.
Yeah, I agree.
Channels are not reliable, by the way. At least the up. The up channels are not reliable. Neither one of them.
Okay.
I think there's too many reds present. So I think I'm going to do this. Is it reliable? I think I'm going to run them all to the one checklist here. That way they kind of come down to the same conclusion. Let's see what that looks like if we run that flow. So if you're going to scalp it, these reclaims, you want to scalp partial reclaims up. You know liquidity is holding on the bottom side, so you could probably lean into that. I think being able to rearrange these will be vastly important. Because I would like to just take, okay, this and this is long, and then just move it over to the top left, you know? Let's run the flow on it again. 1 second. Good. 35. Don't. Channels. So we know this is a no. And then we know that's also a no. Boom, they get merged. There we go. So instead of having two separate boxes that say no, those now get merged.
Yeah, I like that.
And look, if I press the back arrow, it'll explode them back. And then I can go, wait, this one is reliable now. And then they re-separate. But since they both go to no, they get merged. But if this one's a no and this one becomes reliable, then they can be separated.
Yeah.
So back arrow, no, merge.
Can you take a new screenshot of that for me?
Yes.
So
this, and I'll just, I think this is, I'll give you, DM it to you. And then I think you need this one as well. I'm wondering if this doesn't even fucking matter. These conditionals. Take a look. Damn, checklist is looking like a pride flag.
Excuse me.
Yeah, this conditional shit ain't fucking work right. The required. So that's needs to be fixed. They just V-flush the bottom.
Yeah.
So at this point, you're still kind of this are not reliable. We don't know if these are present yet. They're V-flushing the bottom a little bit. I'd wait for this liquidity down here in the 32s to get potentially V-flushed. Because now you're starting to get that V-flushing.
Yeah.
So that changed in character. Be right back. Bit of a reclaim up here. You know they're taking partials. This 35, it could be worth maybe 2 ticks. I'm gonna pulse check it. Bit of a nice pullback right there. Probably do a 34.50. They already did take the pull partial, so a little bit. Actually, kind of think that's not a good idea. Want to flat something like that. Let it V flush. Let it flat bottom or V flush. This area here. Character shift, they're starting to. Not. I mean, they could still be steamrolling. There they go through it. Topside liquidity is getting breached. See if they can pull some classy compression.
Alright, I'm long here on this little slip range. I'm gonna take 3 ticks here for the meat of the move.
Did you just get into it, or were you in it?
I just got into it from 36 to 36.75. Just got out.
Good shit. Let's see if this pulls classic compression. If it can, like, wedge up. See if they do a V flush here. That means they would do a partial into the bottom reclaim. It's not really Ving.
Yeah, it's just kind of barcoding. I'll be back.
God damn.
Alright, looks like that long idea played out.
Yeah, they didn't classic compress. They did a partial on this move. That 5 minute has this cleaner reclaim up here. So they're building resistance. On this 5 or 30-second, they might compress clean.
I'm long 3750.
Huh?
I'm long 3750. Just a tiny little slip range here. Just need it to stop compressing to the downside. It's making like lower highs.
See, from the checklist, I don't think that's... They're taking the full reclaim back, by the way, which, to me, there's a change in character here. I don't think... if I was to go long, I would have waited for a flat bottom to either be V-flushed or hit. I mean, luckily it's still in the grind up, but I would potentially reposture on this because this is not working. You might get trapped where you only get 25. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to take it. I got it. 1 tick loss.
Break even. I'd let this kind of just pan out a little longer. See how flat this is. Getting pretty flat. You're almost starting to get that compression. Just need patience. Patience.
Got another slip range setting up that's valid for a short, but I just don't think that
No,
the
because you
checklist
got too
favors
much
that.
against you. You're gonna want to long it if you can get into a long.
Yeah.
It would be a better choice to do that.
Yeah, statistically it would be a better EV. I'm gonna take a pulse
There's
check
your
at 38.
At 38 would have filled if you were waiting
Yeah.
when we originally talked about it.
I'd probably take it here for a point.
What's nice is this is kind of has a reclaim. I mean, it's staggered. It's not a clean claim, but from 36 up, and it was a partial on the low end.
Mm-hmm.
You have a flat bottom here, so on the checklist, you kind of have all that
Yeah.
going for it.
I'm gonna see how we hold 38. I'm gonna try 38.25, just because we got that flat bottom, and those have been.
Why not 38 even?
I just didn't think it was gonna test 38 even.
Remember, you're getting pretty clean flat bottoms.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, it could be flush the flat bottom.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, you're kind of in trouble because they're gonna probably start to try to V-flush some other flat bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, if they test 37 again, I'm gonna flat it. Yeah, I'm gonna flat out of this.
That's a good choice, I would think. I think you could get into a better position. It's coming back. Oh, it did V-flush a little bit, but
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a good attempt at a slip range.
we'll see if it starts to do this because I think there was one more of these somewhere. Nope. So they did V-flush it. There might be a re-entry. I'd let it pull back some of that.
Oh yeah, big time. I'd let it pull back significantly first.
Not FOMO that.
I'm gonna try this long at 39.25. It's a valid slip range. I'm not getting filled on it though. Alright, I'm filled.
They could do a partial take back V flush. They are compressing a bit up here. Tempting to hit that reclaim. Compression's kind of failing.
Take that there, 5 ticks. Alright, that was a good one. That fixed some mistakes.
Oh, fuck. I like bent over yesterday and stood like up in my back. I pulled a muscle for not even lifting anything.
Yeah, you're getting fucking old, bro.
It's like fucking horribly painful.
Yeah, dude, I've been having fucking back issues lately, and it sucks, dude. It's like borderline agonizing. I just can't fucking get out of bed some days. And I'm too young for that shit, man. I'm fucking 27. So I'm trying to like do more stretches and like fucking like strength training and shit like that, and like Turkish carries, shit like that. Just try to get that core strength back.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where the root of my problem is, at least. I'm just fucking... I got these huge ass fucking shoulders, and my fucking core sucks. I just can't support my fucking upper body weight. But I think that was my last trade. I'm gonna fucking take a break, get something to eat.
Alright, see ya.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.